Well, good morning, boys and girls. Monday morning after post-trade. Big trade happened with Duchene. You might want to check out what my view of the Duchene situation was in one of my previous videos. It's Colorado Avalanche and the Duchenes or something like that. Basically, I'll give you a rundown. I thought that what had happened was that Duchene had asked for a trade and they didn't want to trade him, and they were doing everything they could to keep him there, and they just couldn't. I think they were kind of hoping that they would get on a roll, and it would just look bad for Duchene if he left. And he just had made up his mind. He wanted to go. I think it had something to do with Patrick Waugh leaving. I think maybe they had a connection, and just everything probably seemed like it was in disarray from his vantage point, and from all the players' vantage point, I imagine. And he just said, I think I've had enough. After struggling this much, I'm young. It's time for me to move somewhere where I know I'm going to get some cup. And you can't blame him, really. I mean, people say, well, these are spoiled brat players and all of that stuff like that. I mean, are you a spoiled brat player? You're a very talented human being that has devoted your life to a skill and become the best in the world. I don't know if there's too many people that are just going to go, I'll just stick with where I'm at. You know, if you have the option, are you going to go do what might be better for your career, for your financial and your family? I don't know, man. If you say you wouldn't, you're a better man than me, I guess. Anyways, the trade itself, I think Ottawa did well in their situation. It seems like a lot to give up next year's first, last year's first. The last year's first, Bowers, I think his name is. I think his high end was a third liner. Could be a tweener. Probably not something Ottawa needs to worry about losing at this stage. Next year's first, with the fact that you were going to lose Turris anyways, and let's look into that a little bit. He wanted $6 million at 6 years at $6 million for basically what he is a second line center. Now, I don't think asking for that contract for what Turris has done is that terrible. The question is, with Ottawa's salary cap, is it feasible to be having somebody at $6 million? That is a second line center, and I think what they came to the conclusion of is it really wasn't. That's really what it comes down to. And you get Duchene, who has another year at $6 million. You can probably sign him for $7.5 and be their number one, and look for a second. And you've got two young centers coming up in Brown and White. They can fill that role. This is just a reality of being in a small market, trying to make a go of it, which I think Ottawa does very well. Now, the fact that you are likely going to lose Turris anyways, and your leverage, and that's the bad thing about being in a market like that, is a lot of the times you're trading at a poor leverage, and they didn't really have high leverage. For an upgrade at center, and I think Duchene is an upgrade over Turris by not quite a bit, but certainly an upgrade. Certainly, I would consider him a first-line center. I think you're going to see him thrive a lot more now that he's on a winning team with a freaking awesome coach. He might be approaching, the 70-point mark, something like that. Something you're never going to see at a Turris. Turris is probably 50, 55 points. And at the end of that contract, you probably wouldn't even be close to that. And they just can't afford that in Ottawa. So you had to give up two firsts and a third, pretty much. And then, not only that, you got rid of a contract in Hammond, which was kind of an anchor for a small market team like that. Not that it was an anchor on the salary cap, but because they had him down in the minors. I don't know how much it was against the cap, but it's a lot of money for a cash-strapped team. So it's not a bad deal. Now, Nashville is an interesting thing. Gerard, the defenseman they gave up, I really like him. I think this was the big reason that Colorado made this trade. He definitely has first 1-2 defenseman potential. And I would say at least a 3-4 for sure. Kamenev has been stuck there for quite a while, and now he should get a chance to show what he can do. What he can do is going to be interesting to see. I can't really put a handle on what Kamenev is. I think he's maybe a second line. That's the problem. He's kind of vanilla. If he doesn't make the first 2 lines, you wonder if he's going to make it at all. So it's difficult, but they obviously saw enough in him, and they also get Nashville's second pick. That is a lot to give up for Turris, honestly. That being said, Poyle is an amazing general manager. He gave up probably all the money for that second line center, for sure. I would say even an overpay. But it was an overpay that I would have did as well. Sometimes overpays are necessary. They got a second line center, probably one of the better second line centers in the league because he can play so many different roles. By the way, Duchene doesn't have to play center as well. He's equally good on the wings, and that's another reason why I like that trade. So he plays Nashville's style. It seems like he just fits perfect there. And then Colorado, after all their holding out that they did, when you see this trade, what they did, it kind of tells you that teams were really making them look bad over the summer because they weren't really offering what people were saying they were offering. And that's the reason why he wasn't trading them. Now, he was working under a disadvantage because Duchene, to me, quite obviously asked for a trade privately, even though they didn't make it public. And they didn't have much leverage. So kudos to Joe for holding out and getting a package that is fairly decent. At least there's a lot of options here. The first could become really good players. Kamenev could become a second line center, and Girard could be a 1-2. I think there's about a 50, not even 50-50. I say about a 60-40 chance he's a 1-2, and if he's not, it's almost a 90% chance he's a 3-4. So he filled a lot of holes with the trade, and now it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Landeskog and a couple other guys there. This may take the weight off the team, and they just might just keep barreling, go back on track like they were early in the season. That's hard to say. Anyways, I'm reaching my full 42%, boys and girls. Have a great day. Remember, you get yourself a my NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace and a vat of Jaime's for every subscription. I don't know why you don't want that. Just that alone should be enough. Have a great day. Lots of love to ya.